and she's the instructional designer. Is that?
Yeah.
And so she helps, I guess, design. She helps with a lot of that, especially what we're going to be doing today. She helps with, like, if you ever have any questions, she's the person to go ahead and talk to, and she'll help you out with the Blackboard and all that, anything that's computer related. So she's going to go ahead and talk to you about Blackboard, because Blackboard is very important, whether you're taking online classes or even if you're not taking online classes. I think all instructors use it, and you can get a lot of good information from there. You can see what your grades are. You can see other things. She's going to talk about that. She's going to talk about emails, and then also just talk about internet safety, kind of give you some tips on, what to expect and what to do, because that's another big hot topic right now too. So.
Yes, and we might throw in some AI stuff in there too, talk about that a little bit. I'm Heather Medley. I've been at SPC 6 years. Before that, I was at Texas Tech for about 15 years. I'm first gen. I'm dyslexic, and I didn't, full transparency, I had to call for help with my password today from another company. And I was like, I feel like my mom, because I'm like, I don't know what I did. I have no idea what happened. And I'm telling this person on the phone, I said, I work in technology. Like, I shouldn't have to call, but it happens, right? It happens to everybody. And there was a different email on my account. I don't know what all happened, but it's all fixed. So transparency to say, if you have problems, don't hesitate to call. Email us, let us know. And that's one thing I want to start with when talking about email. We'll talk a little bit more about the mechanics. But when you email, think about, did I give the person everything they need to know to solve my problem? We get emails every day that say, hey, I can't get in. To the building, to your, like, I don't know. And you send it from your Gmail, so I can't even start to try to help. Like, I don't know who you are at all. So if you can send a screenshot, if you can do a screen grab, like a video of what happens, your error message, no matter who you're emailing, if you're having an issue and you need someone else to help you solve it, think about, did I give them all the information they could need in order to help solve my problem? I can go in and look up your classes, but I have to at least know who you are on this campus. ID number, your SPC email address, something. But if you can tell me what class, what instructor, what assignment, like if you can give me some more information, then that helps you to get a faster response and a more accurate response. So we don't have to spend 8 emails just trying to figure out what it is I'm supposed to try to do. So that's my first big email tip. My second big email tip, tell them how that they can contact you. If you are in clinicals, I heard you say clinicals. If you are in class, if you're something like that, like tell them, you can leave a text message on my phone. You can email me back. I'll be, in class till 4:00 or like whatever it is. So that way, when I don't hear back from you, I'm not just going to assume that it's okay. That's my second tip. So give them all the information they need, and that includes how to contact you back, how to respond. And then that will help streamline the process quite a bit. Another tip that I want to give you guys, if you come to the SPC main page, if you go to instructional technology is Blackboard, and then all the other applications inside Blackboard. So if you come here, then you can see this Ultra upgrade. Ultra is new this year, and I just created this top tips page, and this gives you 10 tips to get the most out of Blackboard. And we're going to go over some of those right now as we go through these. And this is just the top 3 that I made a little video for and put on the front page here. And then to get to the page we were just on with the 10, there's a link right here also. So first thing I would tell you guys is this, it always opens to your institution page. And this is the page where we'll put announcements. We had a survey 2 weeks ago, things like that. So it always opens to your institution page. And then this right here, this spot, this has your name on it. This is where you go and update your profile picture. Please update your profile picture. That helps your faculty to get to know you. It gives you some personality. And other people can see that you're not just like you're a person behind that, and it helps with some of that engagement. So I encourage you guys to update your profile picture, and then also on this page, you can update your, if you have a nickname, you can add that as an additional name. And then here, these settings, how many people knew that this page even existed? Have you guys been to this page on Blackboard? Have you seen it?
No.
This page right here, when you set these notifications, you can set what kind of notifications you get. Every day we get that email null thing that's kind of a recap of all the stuff that happened on your Blackboard. If you want to be notified when somebody answers in discussion boards, if you want to be notified every time that you get a grade posted, if you want to be all of that is right here. You can go in here and you can update your settings right here. Let me caution you, do not turn these off. It's really easy to turn them off and then forget to go check. You get that email null thing every day. It's really easy just to delete it and not even open it, not even see what all happened in that class, any of your classes. Because when it comes, it separates all your classes out and tells you all the things that happened in the class. So, but this is where you can update those. So if you miss something, if you're not getting the information that you need, this is where you can go to update those. This next tab is your activity tab, and it tells you all the things that are upcoming. So if your organizations use Blackboard organizations, all this will be in here and it'll be integrated. I put in all of the SPC event dates, like the semester, like the academic calendar dates. Those are all in here, and that's what this is. And then, of course, you know about your courses page. One thing that I want to show you guys is this. You can go from the list view to the card view. And then also on this page, the other cool thing is these stars right here. This is your favorites. So at the beginning of the semester, when you can't find your classes and you're not sure where to look, you can search the terms, you can search the words, you can search all of your courses. But one of the coolest things you can do is to go ahead and star your favorites. And then it brings all of those up to the top. And then at the end of the semester, when you're done, uncheck those so they go back to the bottom, and then star your next semester classes. Here is organizations. If you guys are in any organizations, if you would like for your organization to have a tab, we can put those together. It's just nice for you to have all of your stuff in one place. All your due dates, your deadlines, all of your forms. So there's not, I have to go to Teams for this. I have to go to the website for this. I have to check my email for this. It's nice to have all of your things in kind of one spot. And again, that same structure works for this calendar. Let me tell you about this calendar and ways that it can help you as a student. Organization is one of the easiest ways to have a semester go south real fast. If you're not organized, if you don't know what's coming, if you miss assignments, just because you weren't organized, it can get bad pretty quick. So all of your due dates, if your instructor has your due dates added in Blackboard, all of those will show up here, and you can see it in the month view. Those are all of the assignments and things that I have coming due. Another thing that you can do with this calendar is you can add your events and you can edit your schedule. So if you put in your classes in here, you can do that manually, do it yourself. Then if you need to, 3 weeks before your presentation, if you need to add in 3 o'clock, I'm going to practice my presentation, you can use this calendar, or you can use a calendar that you've always used, either way. But if you like to have all of your things all in one spot, this is a great way to do it. And then again, this gear, you can uncheck old calendars if your faculty have messed up their due dates and their stuff is on there somehow. You can uncheck some things and clear selections or whatever. This is your messages tab, and in your courses, you have the ability to message your faculty, and some faculty have left it on so you can message other students in the course. This is where all your messages will pop up at once. You can see them all as a collective, and it'll give you that little circle and tell you how many messages that you have. If you have your notifications turned on, you can get notifications as soon as you get a message. But this is the page where they are all at right here all at one time. And then you can also message straight from here. So right here on the side, you just pick the course and you can start a new message from here.
Do those messages, is that the same as your email or is that something totally different?
Well, it depends. So I'm not sure how it works on the student side. I'm fixing a lot to you already. So on the faculty side, you can pick to send it straight to email, to have an email copy. The reason that I encourage faculty to use this is because it keeps all of your communications in one spot. So when you go back and you're like, what did they tell me? Well, if it's in your email or if it's your messages, it's your course, it's just so much easier to have that communication all in one spot. Your announcements, your messages will all be right here all together. But I think that you guys have the ability to click send email notification.
But I think some instructors do want you to email them through Blackboard. So they'll say, hey, if you're going to email me, you'll email me through Blackboard, so it's important for you to understand how they want you to communicate.
Yes, and they might use the word email, and they might say email through Blackboard, which is this messages thing. But then email, like regular Outlook email, make sure that you clarify and know which one they're actually checking, because sometimes faculty just check one and not the other, and so make sure that you know which one it is that they prefer. This grades tab gives you all of your grades for all of your courses all at once. It also gives you an update of what assignments are due. It's just a really easy, quick way to view what you have coming up. And then from here, you can click on these assignments and it'll take you to the assignment in the course. So that's an easy, quick jump. Assist is a whole list of helps that we have on campus. Tutoring, all kinds of things like that. Just quick links for things here at SPC. And then tools, you also have access to these tools. Some of them are more helpful to students than others. The Brain Fuse is the tutoring, and this is a quick way to get to it here through tools. So that's kind of a quick rundown of some of the things that aren't in a course, but that you can still use to access courses and be successful. Do you guys have any questions about any of that?
What do you mean by Brain Fuse live tutoring? Do they have like tutoring online from the SPC?
Yes, SPC pays for it, and it's not necessarily SPC people. It's a third party contracted. Because some of our SPC tutors they can go and use Blackboard to, or Teams or whatever to do tutoring, but this is an outside third party. But they know what courses we offer. They can help, and then based on what course you're getting tutoring for, it'll direct you to those
And
people.
actually, tomorrow's workshop's going to be over. We're going to have a tutor department come in and talk to you about that. So if you want to know more about that, like tomorrow's workshop is going to be about all the tutoring services provided here.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's what that is. It's a third party service, and that's what they can offer. So these ultra tips, these are tips not just how to work Blackboard, but also how to be successful in your courses. I encourage you guys to engage in discussions. Introduce yourself to your faculty. If you haven't done it already, make sure to go up, shake their hand, tell them why you're in their class. I'm an English major and I hope to work for Hallmark someday to write greeting cards. Whatever it is, something that they can associate with you, because when it's time to round grades or whatever, it's much easier to round if you know that student, if you know what their heart is, if you know they've been working. So you definitely want to make a connection and show them that you're trying. That goes a long way. And then the mobile app is the other thing. The mobile app, I think the most frustrating thing I've heard about it is that you have to log back in, but that's because of our two-factor authentication, so that your email and your Blackboard are the same login. And then you have to have that authenticator app and put in the numbers and all that kind of stuff. But Blackboard is mobile responsive. So no matter what size screen you're using things on, it will adapt to that size. How many people have used their phones for homework or checking grades, or everybody gotten on the Blackboard on their phones? Pretty cool because it goes everywhere. One tip, I have 4 kids, 3 of them are here at SBC going to school. One of the things that I've told them to do is that you guys all have Read Speaker that is in Blackboard. It will read your pages to you. Also, if your faculty have uploaded videos, set that on play. And on your way back and forth, listen to those lectures again. Have it read you the book. That Read Speaker will read you the book. Set it. If you're driving back and forth to Lubbock, if you're walking on campus to class, set that stuff up so that you get that information a second or third time. That Read Speaker, do you guys know what I'm talking about when I say Read Speaker? Let me go into a course and I will show you. This also is, if everybody has this College Success class, it's a free class. It's based on the OpenStax pre-college book, and it has tons. My laptop is a touchscreen. That's why I keep trying to touch this one. Each unit covers a different topic. And inside these topics, I'm going to go to student preview so we can see the Read Speaker. Inside these different topics, you can do as much or as little as you want. Every time that you complete a module, a unit, you'll be entered into a drawing. There's $250. There's a bag. There's all kinds of stuff that you can win if you do these. Where is my Read Speaker? Right here. Open documents with document reader. If you click on this, it won't do it because I'm in student preview mode, but you're a student, so it will. But you open the document and it will read it to you. You can even pick how fast you want it to read. It's really, really helpful to use the document reader, and you can do that on your phone too. So it'll read it to you, and you can just pop in your headphones and keep trucking. You guys are using progress tracking in your classes, the little green dots that you can get to the side. Those, when you open something, they'll go halfway full. You get to decide when you're done with that content. So if you go through it and you read it and you realize, oh, I don't remember what that, let me uncheck it so I can go back to look at it again. And you can decide. So if you're just plowing through it just to see what's in the chapter, that's great. You can leave them half done, not a big deal. And then you can go check the ones once you know that you have mastery, once you know that you're good with that information. But that's what the progress tracking is in there and how to use it. Your faculty can also see the progress tracking. They can see how long you spent in the course. They can see how long you spent on material. They can see how many attempts you've made. They can see, so they can look to see if you're struggling, to see if you're spending the time, to see what your time looks like compared to the rest of the class. So in Blackboard, definitely use that resource. They put things in there on purpose to help you out. What else can I tell you guys about Blackboard? Any questions you guys are having? Any troubles? Everything's just hunky-dory peachy keen?
We had a question about the testing. What was that question?
Oh, the honor lock. How many well, it's my first time using honor lock. Is there a way you can because I'm not really good at using my mouse, so I can't really, it's more of a computer issue. I don't know how to, because every time I try to use my mouse, it would skip the questions. It would go too fast for me, and I couldn't go right next to the next problem. It would take me to the fifth problem or.
So instead of using the mouse, I would just scroll down. Instead of using the mouse to click next, just scroll down. And it depends on how your faculty have the page set up too, because sometimes every single question can be its own page. Sometimes they can add pages to separate the sections. And if you have trouble with Honor Lock, that chat button that's there, they're right there. And they can help, and they are so good about it. And nice. They're really, really nice. So if you have trouble with Honor Lock, you can use that. If you have trouble with the machine, come over and use a different machine. We can loan some out. There's some downstairs in the library that you can use. You can't use an iPad with Honor Lock because of the security features. But yeah, if it's giving you troubles, just let's find a different machine that works. Yeah, and we have tons of computers here, so that, yeah, we can find one.
Thank you.
Yeah, and there are also some, it might sound ridiculous, but there are some games online that you can play to help you with your mousing. So it'll have you draw shapes, it'll have you click on the dots as they light up, just so you can kind of be a little more fluid with that. So maybe try a couple of those too, and you can just do like computer mouse games, and there's tons that'll come up that you can just play on your computer without having to download anything. But also let your faculty know, because they have an ability to give you an exemption. So if they wanted to give you a couple of extra tries or something like that, but let them know that that's what you had trouble with in order to go back and things like that, because they could lock it down so you can't go back. So, so just let them know that was tricky. Yeah. Do you guys have courses that are hard to fine tune then, or do they mostly match with their structure, with the setup? Yeah, so they should all look like this, where they have modules, a start here, the weeks should be inside modules, and it should be pretty easy to find. Also inside the gradebook, you can see from this page, the things that are due. It's the mouse thing works for faculty too. Your assignments are probably going to be out of order on this page because it's really easy to drag them and it's really hard to get them in the right spots. So a lot of faculty, their stuff is out of order and it bothers them, but you can sort by date on here. You can also sort by opened or unopened. But one thing that you can do when you come into here is that you can click on it and it'll take you to the assignment from the gradebook. So if you know that you have something due, you're ready to do it, but you can't remember if it's in week 1 or 2 or whatever, you can come in here and it'll take you straight to the assignment. If your faculty have it set up, there will be all the information here about the assignment. There can be a description. You can look at the rubric before you start. And just because you hit start attempt, you can look at the information and then proceed. Like the front page, you can't start the test, but you can look at the instructions and things, and they should have that here for you also. So before you start test, since COVID, one thing that we have noticed, and I think that students appreciate, is that the line between face-to-face and online classes have blurred. In every online class, there's some interactive component, should be, discussion, something like that. And then also in face-to-face classes, there's an online component. At very least, your syllabus and your grades should be posted in Blackboard. But it's also easier if they post the work, the book, the whatever, so that you don't have to haul things around. You don't have to look for things. It's all in one spot. So those lines are becoming a little more blurry with hybrid courses and things like that. Any questions about this stuff? Okay. I'm going to talk about internet safety, but first I want to talk about AI. AI is not terrible. AI is a tool and it's not going anywhere. There are tons of fantastic resources that are AI resources. There's even some research AI so that it already will only show you inside the AI peer-reviewed articles, academic sources. Use AI to get ideas. Don't let AI steal your voice. Don't let AI replace what you can bring to the table, what you can bring to the classroom. Use it for ideas, use it to get you started, use it to maybe check spelling, punctuation, run-on sentences, things like that. It can check for that, but you don't. Some people think that it's an easy shortcut. It's not. It will take you out of the equation altogether. And I don't want students to lose their voice and to lose who they are because they just want to get it done. Don't miss that opportunity for you to contribute and for you to be a player in that classroom. One thing that I tell my students is that you never know who knows people. You never know. So make sure that you network and that you create opportunities for yourself. You don't know who happens to go to church with or the same hairdresser as, or you just don't know where your opportunities come from. LinkedIn will tell you that it's not your first layer of contacts, it's your second that will help you to get jobs. Friends of friends. So if you take your voice out and if you don't speak up in class, if you don't put yourself out there and your own experiences, then you kind of take yourself out of that equation. You take yourself out of the mix there. So AI, just like what I said with email, give it as much information as you can about what you want it to spit back out. My kid, my youngest, is a high school sophomore baseball player. He's getting emails and things from coaches who are trying to invite him to camps and stuff like that. So I had AI write me an email to respond to a coach. I said, respond as if you were a 15-year-old high school sophomore from Texas. Make it short, make it cool. That's what I said. And those emails sounded nice. They sounded just like him. They gave the information that I wanted the coach to have. But Trent's in class all day. He doesn't have time for that. As soon as he gets out of class, he works out 3 times a day at school, and then we go to baseball some more after that. So I gave it to him, said, edit this, see what you think. You need to respond to these coaches. But that saved us hours and tears and fighting. Sometimes it's easier to have something to edit, something to work with. And if you have an assignment coming up, generate a list of possible topics, and then tell it things that I would like, topics that are funny, topics that are current, topics that have to do with what your passion is. If it's geology and fashion, see what it comes up with. Put in crazy things. But if it can get those ideas rolling, and then you can twist that into your own thing, that's a really, really great resource, a great way to use AI. Do not let it write your paper, though. If you need some more information, some more ideas for a part of your paper, ask it to give you ideas, but don't let it steal your voice, for sure. With that, I came up with some ideas all on my own. Safety tips for students, online safety stuff. I encourage you guys to use a password manager. Google has one to save passwords. Use something like that so that you can save your password. Otherwise, you're going to be updating every time you try to log in. So use a password manager. Also use different passwords for different things. If you use the same one every time, the first time that you get hacked or whatever, then you're done for, because they have everything. So try to incorporate different kinds of things. So if all of your money apps have this pattern, all of your school apps have this pattern, so kind of based on what you're trying to get into, what your pattern is. And then you also have a password manager that can help with those things. You can also set a lot of those password managers to remind you to update your passwords at certain intervals. Strong passwords are good. And then make sure that you update your stuff. Make sure that you have your phone set to update. Make sure that you have your computer, your laptop, all that stuff set to update, because that's when we see most of the spyware, malware, stuff like that come in, is when you didn't get the update, when you didn't do it. A lot of times it'll pop up, but I'm trying to get to something else and I'll forget. So make sure that you do those updates. Check if you're filling out personal information online. Always check the URL. Always look up there. Because if it's supposed to come from Amazon, but it's am.zon3, probably not. Probably not. So make sure that you check the URL and make sure that it's authentic. Another thing that you can do, instead of clicking on your email that it sends you, you can call the company, or you can go to the website that you know and log in that way. So that way you don't just click on things that you're not sure of. And use your spidey senses. I mean, we're getting pretty good now, right? About knowing what it looks like and who it comes from. So you can do that. Always back up your work. Always make sure that your stuff is set to autosave. If you're using Word, you can turn that autosave on. Make sure it's on. Make sure that it's backing up. Make sure that it's saving. And this saves on our network here. So that's great. One thing that I do is I keep a folder in my Google Docs for the whole semester. So that way I have it in 2 spots. Ransomware, public computers. Make sure that it logs out. Sometimes the SPC stuff is hard to log out. If you come right back, you're still logged into my SPC. Make sure that you're logged out. If you're using the computers downstairs, something like that, make sure that it's logged out. So close it all back out, open it back up, make sure that it doesn't just automatically pop back up with your stuff. But make sure that it's logged out when you're using public computers. Now watch me, I'm gonna walk off and leave this all logged in and it'll just be here. Manual can change all of Blackboard for the entire institution. But yeah, those are my safety
Now
tips.
please make it friendly, okay?
All right. Does anyone have any questions? No? Any other questions?
Clear as mud.
Thank you
Love
very much.
it.
Appreciate you.
You bet.
If you can go ahead and scan, do the survey, use your phones, and then we're gonna go do door prize.
Insurance.